Hola a todo el mundo, buenos días. Hoy vamos a aprender cómo formar los mandatos afirmativos familiares. So we're going to look at forming affirmative two commands. Two commands are used to tell like your brother or a friend or maybe a mom would tell their son what to do. You're not going to use these for a formal situation, but rather in an informal situation. So there's a lot going to be going on in this lesson. You'll notice right away I have some links here on the screen for you. If you want to have access to those links, there's another link that's in the description of my video. It will take you to the document that you're looking at right now. And if you want to open that up, you can have access to those links and check out my other lessons on two commands with pronouns, two commands practice, or if you haven't yet learned ustedes commands, you can check those out as well. So two commands are different from the usted commands, ustedes commands, and from the negative two commands. They're just a little bit of a different beast. There's not really more difficult, just a little different. So I'm going to go over how to form all of these, talk about a lot of irregularities, and give you several chances to practice, so that when you finish this video, you'll hopefully feel a little more confident in what you're doing here. So we'll look here first at the top at some regular affirmative two commands. To form them, we're going to use the third person singular or he/she form of the verb. For example, if I want to tell someone to speak with the verb hablar, I'm just going to use the he/she form of the verb, which is going to be habla. For comer will be come, and compartir will be comparte. So for regular verbs, we're just going to use the he/she form of the verb. Not too difficult. So this is telling someone to do something. Let's go down a little more. Boot verb examples. So boot verb examples, we still do need to keep in mind the whole boot change, and it's still just using the he/she form of the verb. So juega, vuelve, and compite. Those are all boot verbs, and we're going to keep that change in mind when making these affirmative two commands. Cargars are verbs. You probably, if you've been studying commands, usted commands, nosotros commands, negative two commands, etc. You've probably been seeing these cargars are verbs mentioned with those. With regards to affirmative two commands, you don't have to worry about these. There's no weird change in them. So, saca, paga, casa. Those are how you would do affirmative two commands for cargars are verbs. There's no weird change. Irregular affirmative. That's weird. Irregular affirmative two commands. There's a link there, that blue link. If you want to have access to that here, obviously open up my document. But it takes you to a song, if you want to call it that, on YouTube. And it's really dumb, but it's catchy and it helps you remember these. And these ones are, again, affirmative two commands that are irregular. So, hacer is has, pon, di, sal, ten, ven, se, and ve. And just FYI for you, the affirmative two command for ver is also ve. Obviously, you would distinguish by which one I'm using based on the context of the conversation. Just in case you're not sure what any of those verbs mean, hacer is to do or to make, poner is to put, place, or set, decir is to say or to tell, salir is to leave or go out, tener is to have, venir is to come, ser is to be, ir is to go. And I just want to note that a lot of people don't teach this, but mantener, the affirmative two command for mantener, like to maintain or keep something, is manten. And I've also seen this accent mark being debated as to whether or not it should be on there. Technically, it should be on there. So, using this information I just gave you above, I want to give you just a little bit of practice. Using the verb and the nouns provided, tell your little brother what to do. So, example, we have lavar, carro, wash, car. So I want you to say, wash the car. And that's going to look like this right here. Lava el carro. Just a little note, you might have to add an extra word like the or a, or just an extra article in there just to make it a little bit more complete. So take a second and do those. Pause the video if you need to, and then I'm going to start giving you the answers in about 2 seconds. Okay, so number one, the answer's on the next page. Let's just go look at that. Okay, so I've got the original thing here and then the answers. I'm just going to read the answers to you, and if you have any questions about any of my answers, just leave them in the comment box and I'll get back to you, okay? Pasa la sal. Toca la guitarra. Sal de la casa. Come la torta. Vive en otro mundo. Sé simpático. Haz los quehaceres. Juega al baloncesto. Pon la mesa. Ven a mi cuarto. So those are affirmative two commands. Threw a couple of irregulars in there, boot verbs and whatnot. See if you could catch those. I got more coming for you here. So let's look at using affirmative two commands with pronouns. This starts making it a little bit more difficult. If you have already learned usted commands with pronouns, this should not be difficult for you. I will explain it though as though you haven't learned it yet. So remember that when you're doing commands, affirmative equals attached. What I mean by that is if you are doing commands and there are pronouns involved, you have to attach them to the end of the verb. Affirmative commands, you have to attach the pronouns to it. So I've given you 5 examples here. The first one, over here on the left, says the verb is already done for you. These are already in their 2 command form. So pass the salt, play the guitar, do the chores, play basketball, set the table. I'm going to change it so it's going to say pass it, play it, do them, play it, set it. So I changed all those to pronouns over here. You'll notice. Okay, what I've done here for you in the middle is I've broken those words down to their syllables, and I've bolded the stressed syllable. And the rule here is that if you have a word in Spanish and the stress of the word falls on the 3rd or more syllable back from the end. So let's look at this first one. Pásala. Pásala. The last syllable, so we'll call that 1. There's number 2, and there's number 3. So if the word falls on the 3rd or more syllable back, you put a written accent mark over that syllable. So yeah, I did that for all of you right here. Pásalas, pásala, tócala, hazlos, juégalo, ponla. You probably noticed right away that 2 of those don't have an accent mark. So if I were look at these ones right here, you'll notice that right away there are only 2 syllables. There's nothing over here in the 3rd syllable place, so we don't have to worry about it on those ones. You'll get an idea better as I give you more examples in a second, okay? So let's look at affirmative 2 commands with reflexive verbs. So reflexive verbs are the verbs that end in se. I gave you like 6 or 7 right here. Lavarse, to wash oneself. Maquillarse, to put on makeup. Cepillarse is to brush oneself. Levantarse is to get up. Sentarse is to sit. Vestirse is to get dressed. And esconderse is to hide. Again, remember, affirmative equals attach. Now, since these are reflexive verbs, and we're doing 2 commands, the reflexive pronoun se has to change to te, first of all. If you haven't yet learned what reflexive verbs are, I would highly recommend you go back and do that first, because that will make this very difficult if you haven't yet learned reflexive verbs. So, we have, I'll just read the commands for you. So, lávate, maquíllate, cepíllate, levántate, siéntate, vístete, escóndete. Now, if I took those verbs, I could break them down into their various syllables like this, and you'll notice that I put an accent mark over the 3rd syllable back on all of those ones. If you're finding that difficult to do, what you should do, I should have explained this earlier. Take this initial word right here, or this one right here, and say it to yourself, pasa. What sounds better to you, pasa or pasa? Hopefully it sounds like pasa, with a stress over that first day sounds better to you. And then you know that the stress is on that syllable, so when you attach your pronouns over here, you know which syllable the stress falls on, which will make it easier. Go down a little bit more. We'll look at affirmative 2 commands with reflexive verbs and direct object pronouns, making it a little bit more difficult here. So we have, starting at the top here, to wash your hands, to put makeup on your face, to brush your hair, and to put on glasses. So I'm going to say, wash them, put makeup on it, kind of your face, brush it, and put them on. So these work the same as the ones up here. The difference being, though, is that I have this direct object noun that I'm going to change to a pronoun. So like the hands will change to las, the face will change to la, pelo will change to lo, and the gafas will change to las. And I'm going to attach them again to the end of the command. So we have lávate las. If I were to break this down for you, just kind of show it to you. I have lávate las like that. And again, if I say the initial word, just this word, lava, lava, you should hear that the stress is over that A. So since the stress is on the 3rd or more syllable back, I put a written accent mark right there. And that goes the same with these other ones. Maquillatela, cepillatelo, and pontelas. So that's how you do it with reflexive verbs and direct object pronouns. I've got one more category here for you. Affirmative 2 commands with direct and indirect object pronouns. Again, if you haven't yet learned pronouns yet, these direct and indirect object pronouns, you definitely should go back and do that first, because most of this is going to be nearly impossible for you to do if you don't have that prior knowledge. So go back and search, if you want to see my videos, Senor Bellis, direct object pronouns, Senor Bellis, indirect object pronouns, and watch those videos if you haven't yet learned that. So the first one, we have to pass the napkins to us. So I'm going to say pass them to us. The napkins will change to las. Us will change to nos. And the pasar will change to pasa. We'll put the people before things. That's the nos before the las. So we have pasa nos las. Next one is going to be send the letter to them. So send it to them. The letter will change to la. To them will change to lace. Mandar will change to manda. We'll put the lace in front of the la, but you can't have the two pronouns, the lace and the la, together. So we'll change the lace to se and have manda se la. Hacer la torta para mí. So hopefully remember that hacer is one of the irregular affirmative to commands. Goes to has. To me will change to me. The sandwich will change to la. Hazmela. Make it for me. So, using all that information I just gave you, again, if you want this document, you can print it off. It's in the description of the video, okay? I want you to make affirmative to commands with the verbs and nouns that I give you in this activity. Turn any direct object nouns into pronouns. Model. Brush your teeth. I changed the teeth to los, the se to take, because it's a to command. Lavar will be lava. I'm going to attach it all together and have lavatelos, accent mark over that first day. So when doing this, try and keep in mind that some of these, actually probably all of them, will have accent marks somewhere on them. So see if you can do that as well. And the answers will be on the next page. So pause the video because I'm going to start going over the answers in about 3 seconds. Okay, I'm just going to read the answers to you after I'm done. If you have any questions about my answers, or you think I got one wrong, or if you're not sure why you got one wrong, just leave a comment and I'll get back to you promptly, okay? Afeitatelas. Acuéstate. Úsalo. Peínatelo. Sécate. Búscalos. Dúchate. Quítatelos. Cómpramelo. Dáselas. Those are the answers. If you liked the video, please leave a like and subscribe for more. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for watching.